I've seen so many people that have quite good technique on the bandeja, but they're just trying to hit the wrong type of spin, and that makes it easy for their opponents. Hi guys, Sandy here. If you're a player that struggles to control your bandeja, and often you find you hit your bandeja and it bounces up at the other end and makes it easy for your opponents, then this video is for you. Yeah, we're going to focus on, your technique to try and hit the right type of spin, and what is the right type of spin and where you should be aiming this shot if you want to have a more effective bandeja and get the right spin on that ball. So often players make this really complicated, the technique, because they watch the World Padel Tour, they see the top players hitting a kind of side spin or underneath the spin to go for the double bounce glass in the corner, and they think that they need that in their game, and that is not necessarily true. The two things that we really need to focus on with this shot is the speed and the direction. If you get those right, then even if your technique is not perfect, you can still have a really effective bandeja. So the first thing to think about with the spin is that firstly, you don't need a lot of spin on this, yeah? Ideally, if you get the right, like we just said, speed and direction, you could just benefit from having a little bit of slice on that shot. And with the slice, that's where you come underneath the ball with your racket like this, bringing the ball down at the other end. That will make the rebound lower, whether you're hitting single or double glass at the far end. But the idea is that you can create that slice by lifting your arm above, so the racket is above the height of the contact. If it is above the height of the contact and the racket face is open like this, when you come down the ball like this, going through it, you will automatically create slice on this shot. You do not need to focus on kind of flicking and trying to get extra spin on that ball, because if your racket is in the right place and it's coming down and the racket face is slightly open, you will create enough slice on that shot. You do not need to make any more than is there. So a really common problem for this shot is, other than complicating it, is having a bent elbow. Because if you have a bent elbow and you take the racket back like this, then you're going to have to go up to your contact, and it is physically impossible to hit slice on your bandeja if you're going up to your contact. Most of the time, if the elbow is bent, the most you can get from your spin is to come around the outside of the ball trying to hit side spin, but then that's a very difficult shot to time, and also you're going to be less consistent and accurate at the other end. Yeah, so this elbow is really key to being able to hit with this open racket face and creating slice on the shot. Now, when it comes to the different type of spin you might hit from left side to right side, and we go into this in detail in our bandeja course, we do 6 steps to improving your bandeja, and I'll link to that up here, but that's our course for this month for the Padel School Plus. But when it comes to playing this from the right hand side, you actually contact slightly closer to the body, slightly higher contact, and often you just come around the outside of the ball ever so slightly more. Therefore, when you're playing on the right hand side, you don't need to hit with as much slice. Now, if you're playing down the middle, yes, you would try and come underneath the ball and you'd hit a bit more slice, but any other time you're going to go to the side fence or side glass into the corner, you would often contact a little bit flatter and a little bit round the outside of the ball, or just not with as much slice as you would do from the left hand side. And when it comes to the left hand side, here, this is where, if you're playing a more defensive style bandeja, you would do exactly what we talked about with the earlier technique. But you also see a lot of players hitting what I would call a slow vibra technique in place of a bandeja. And this is where the lob goes down the center and you might come across and you use more like the vibra with the elbow extension, and you just brush around the outside of the ball, with your bandeja slash vibra to go softly into the corner. This is more often seen at a higher level because it's quite a difficult shot to time well, as far as not only the timing of your contact, but actually the speed of that shot. But most of the time, because we're hitting to the open side with the bandeja, here you would see that technique of lifting the arm up, contacting to the side a little bit lower, and you can really hit, a little bit of slice on that ball and have a very effective bandeja from this side. And the final piece of the puzzle when it comes to the bandeja and making sure this contact is good and you can go under with a little bit of slice is the movement. Now, you've heard me say this before in previous videos, you need to move back far enough so that you can contact in front, because you need to contact in front to have this open racket face. If you're contacting behind, you can have the open racket face, but you can't brush down the ball to create that slice. You'll just end up hitting kind of flat with your open racket face. The ball will go up and therefore be easier for your opponent. So this movement back, this preparation is really, really important. Now, if you want to look in depth at your bandeja, we've got the 6 steps to improve your bandeja, which is our course for this month. And that is a great place to go if you want to really perfect this part of your game.